Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, the Knife Raven here, back again with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be bringing back an old series from my other channel, Antique Chats. Now, I'm sure many of you won't even know what that is, and I don't expect you to. It was a pretty underwhelming series back then. But, since those videos are no longer in existence, I figured I'd redo some of them, and with a new perspective of a more well, I don't claim to be terribly experienced, but a more experienced collector of cutlery. And today, I'm going to be looking at a completely new knife that you've never seen on this channel before. That being this. Now, I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and when I spotted it for $10 at an antique mall, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. This is a Tuxedo. It's a type of penknife, two flanking blades on either end, and it's a very interesting pattern that I don't know much about, but I'd like to know more about. I believe it's from the US, and it has some similarities to a half-whittler, although knowing how the knife world is, a lot of traditional patterns came from Sheffield. It's just that no one gives them credit for that. So feel free to go ahead in the comments and let me know where this is from, if you know. But in the meantime, I really like this knife, and it's not one I'd see myself carrying, even a new one, because it's just so dainty. It's one of the smallest and probably most delicate-looking knives I own, featuring only one very thin stainless backspring, brass liners, brass pins, and what looks like either faded nickel-silver or brushed stainless steel. I'm thinking nickel-silver. Bolsters, which I believe seem to have almost the shape of a mitre, which I may be mispronouncing. And yeah, I don't know if that was an intentional design where they were modeling it after that, or if it was just something that I noticed and that never had anything to do with general production. The handle scales here presumably are some kind of acrylic, because that's my luck, I always get acrylic, but it would be kind of nice if this was some kind of mother of pearl, but I'm guessing based on that it's acrylic. But I might be wrong, but until I know anything that contradicts that, I'm just going to say it's a kind of iridescent white acrylic. We've got a single spear point blade with what looks to be a mirror polish. Slightly faded, but it does say Stainless Japan. This is a Japanese-made knife. No blade play whatsoever. Simple nail nick. But yeah, very slender spear point blade. Unfortunately, though, one of the issues here is that when you have a two-bladed knife operating on one spring, it's very common to have the blades rub against each other and scratch, which you can see is very much a problem here, but aside from that, the blades will fall on one another if you are not careful. Second blade, no wobble as well. This would also be a spear point, aka a pen blade. Almost got a bit of a clip point look to it, but I'd still, if I had to give it a definition to save my life, I would call it a spear point. Well, pen is the proper term, but a pen blade is just a small spear point. Again, mirror polish, stainless steel. Not dull, but certainly not sharp. Again, this is going to be a very short video because I don't know much about this, so I can't ramble about the history behind it. I don't know anything about the brand who made it. I don't know anything about... Really, I don't have much information on this, so part of the reason I figured I'd make this video, aside from just showing an interesting little knife, is maybe if any of you know, whether that be about the Tuxedo itself, about this particular style of knife of this brand, if you may know what that is. Again, I'm very much open to suggestions and information, but all in all, yeah. Am I happy to get this? Yes. Was it worth $10? Yes. Am I going to carry it? Probably never. Would I like a new one? Maybe. I hear Case made them once, but I don't know if they'll ever bring them back. But yeah, reminds me of a penknife or maybe a Congress half Whittler. Just an interesting little penknife. I quite like it. Very dainty, very lightweight, very small. Again, I don't even think I'm going to bother taking the ruler out. It's UK legal, obviously. But, you know, I'll just throw in an Acrylic for reference. You can see the Acrylic is a fairly small knife, and it still dwarfs this little Tuxedo. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Tuxedo knife, and I quite like this pattern. I'm very interested in it. I'd like to learn more about it, so if you have any information, please let me know. And yeah, this has been the vintage, probably 90s, 80s Tuxedo penknife, made in Japan. And this is the Knife Raven. As always, signing off. Goodbye.